But everybody has a Las Vegas story.
So the phrase "what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," complete horseshit. It never hopefully it doesn't happen. So what we wanted to do after just the love of Vegas is make sure that we kind of brought something that wasn't in the cards originally. You know, we had a bunch of Vegas podcasts we listened to, we loved, and we thought, well, you know, let's kind of take this, a little bit of this, and make it out of love. And that's what we did. So we actually met last September. Most of you know, some of you don't know. And we decided, well, shit, everybody else has a fucking podcast. Why can't we have a podcast? So we started a podcast.
So we started the ball rolling, kind of an idea that got better and better. And with the feedback from friends and people who actually listened to us and help from other podcasters in the community, believe it or not, we learned what attracted people to us. Podcasts, goods and bads. As we're doing this, we are learning. It's been a learning curve. It's been a fabulous 7 months, and to say the least, you know, we've met some great people doing this. Obviously, you guys know, very social, love talking and meeting with people. It's our favorite thing to do. Sometimes this guy can't get me to shut up, and I understand. But that being said, so we decided that two assholes talking Vegas wasn't good enough. So we decided to add our favorite asshole, Mr. Eric Rosenthal. So we approached him. We knew he was a loyal listener from day one, and we asked him about joining VC. And to our surprise, he said yes.
So the Hebrew Hammer's on board with the whole thing, and we're a trio. So we love what we do, and we love the people we meet. We've had more experiences through this whole thing, and you know, it's not necessarily about the content we have. I mean, it is to a certain point, but it's about the camaraderie. It's about the stories that we bring out. And we just absolutely love that. We're hoping that we kind of fill the shoes of the people in the past that shared the stories of the casinos and the gambling, the debauchery, the confessions, everything that's going on. We want to make sure that we fill that and we do that justice. So
we are very proud to introduce the other podcasters tonight that have spread the good word with us. Thank you from Scott from Vital Vegas, Adam from Travel Fanboy, and Mark and Dr. Mike from You Can Bet on That. And a huge thank you to Mr. Michael Traeger, Eric Rosenthal, and all the ZorkFest team. And of course, not to forget to mention, Mr. Mo Cassaggio back there.
So for those of you who've listened to the podcast, and for those of you who haven't, if you haven't, do, if you can, that would be a nice thing. But we actually have a backpack up here, and we have it full of goodies. So our focus on the podcast, other than the stories we do, is confessions. Anybody out there that has a confession or the best confession wins this backpack. There's a story behind it.
And in this backpack, we have a few gifts for you guys. So that being said, we're going to have some postcards go around, and if you guys can give us some of your best Vegas confessions, we'll let the crowd decide who wins it and takes this bag home. So a little backstory to the incident we had. We had an incident at a Paris Diamond Lounge, so it started off with the backpack. Well, let's just say because of us, backpacks and luggage are no longer allowed in the Paris Diamond Lounge.
Yeah.
So that being said, we encourage you guys to give us some of your best Vegas confessions, and we will make sure we get you guys set with the backpack. It's got some great stuff inside. We, again, appreciate you guys, this community. We can't say enough about the people. I mean, you guys coming from all over the place. I mean, seriously, that means a lot to see. I don't get it, but thank you again. You guys are all awesome. We hope you guys enjoy the show. We know we will.
So our next podcaster is actually uniquely tied into TravelZork. TravelZork put out an article discussing the 10 best gambling in Vegas podcasts. Now, in my opinion, he belonged very high on the list, but this particular writer seemed to have left him off. Now, to Scott's credit, he won't let that stand in the way of his ego, because he very quickly proclaimed that he is the number 11 podcast in Vegas and gambling space. I'm here to tell you, sir, even though I would rank you very highly, not being on the top 10 does not exactly make you number 11. Fair? Okay, so with that said, number 11 on his list, number 1 in our hearts, my friend, Mr. Scott ROEBEN.
Welcome to the fabulous Vital Vegas podcast. And yes, it's me,
Don't
the
listen to this
Fremont
first.
Street Experience announcer man.
It might be perfunctory.
Wasting my incredible talent introducing a podcast I'm never going to listen to. So let's get this Yawn Fest started.
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you. I resent the Yawn Fest thing, but I play it on my own show, so how upset can I get? So it's so nice of you to be here tonight. It means a lot to have been invited, so thank you guys so much. And I have not prepared anything, which kind of reflects my strategy for my own show. And unlike the other podcasters here tonight, I wanted to stay true to my show in that number one, I don't prepare, and number two, I don't want to do a podcast. I get the feeling they like doing podcasts. I do not. These guys love podcasting, right? It's like this. No, I hate it every week. As you may have heard on the show. Does anybody actually listen to the show? Because if you don't, that touches me so deeply. And the other people are like, who is this idiot? He couldn't put on a decent shirt with a collar? And I have a lot of Jewish fans. He couldn't, with the shoes and the jeans. Anyway, thanks for coming. It's so weird, because normally if you hear my voice, it's probably in your car, or some people jog. But it's just so nice to see so many friendly faces. And I thought tonight would be, the format might just be kind of freewheeling, because I'm sure you have a ton of questions about me. And it is my favorite subject. I did want to give one shout out to Gina. So, a funny story. Well, I don't know if it's funny. So I go to Pizza Rock, and I decide I'm going to order pizza with nothing on it, because I love their crust, right? And I know there's some suspicion that I'm a shill for Pizza Rock. Well, I'm a shill for everything. Let's just get that out of the way. I'm a shill for the puckball team. I'm a shill for the whoever. But I do not work for Pizza Rock. They've never given me anything free, the jerks. So I'm in Pizza Rock, and I decide to order a pizza with nothing on it, because I love their crust. So I tweeted out, first time in the history of Pizza Rock somebody's ordered a pizza with nothing on it. Gina, for whatever reason, from where? Some other state? Boston. It's in the east. She walks up to the bar and she goes, "Are you the Vital Vegas guy?" "Oh yeah." She goes, "I saw your tweet. I had to come over." That is the epitome of why I do a podcast, why I do a blog, why I do the stupid Twitter account that's taking over my life. And it's just the random great people you meet. Some of these podcasters, amazing. The people that I've talked to, even just this evening, you might be passionate about travel, probably passionate about Vegas, and you're the people I want to talk to. Probably passionate about liquor as well. And true fans of the show will know that as this glass gets emptier, it's your moment to use one of your orange tickets to get your ass over there and get me a Captain Diet. So I have no prepared material. I broke a couple of stories in the last couple of days. World Cup coming to the Raiders Stadium. Anybody else have that? Review Journal? No, I don't think so. Las Vegas Sun? No. The CEO, thank you, honey. Hey, this is a great chance to introduce the lovely Emery. She has made appearances. The applause exponentially louder than the applause from me, which I appreciate. She has been dragged onto the show, as I think most people that do podcasts, eventually your spouse is dragged on at some point. Some stick around, some don't. But anyway, she's lovely. Did I go away? What? Oh, God. So the Pappy thing, so the Pappy thing was kind of I really was only doing it on the one show. And then people kind of put it in the iTunes reviews, and obviously if you put it in an iTunes review, you have to do it again. And it just, lately I haven't done it because I don't really get what's cute about it or funny or whatever. It's just kind of like my old guy alter ego, and then I realized I'm actually an old guy. So it doesn't need to be an alter ego. It's just, why are you nodding? That's not appropriate. What was I talking about? So anyway, Eric has been kind enough, he has a microphone, so please ask questions. Oh, so World Cup, nobody has that. What else? The CEO of the LVCVA, you know that guy? He's been there 45 years, so I broke today that he's out. It's a big deal for Vegas because they're the organization that does the marketing for Las Vegas. He's been there 45 years. Started using gift cards that the LVCVA gets for his own personal travel. Yeah, huge, scandalous. I'm sorry, Johnny Katz, did you get that one first? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Nope. Will you mention it in your story? Yes. Will you mention me in your story? That would be a no. Anyway, so this is kind of therapeutic. So thank you for being here for it. But anyway, so if you have a question, as long as you've not talked to anybody who has any kind of secrets about me, ask a question. You can ask about Vegas. You can ask about my sources. You can ask about anything personal, even sexual. Because I asked Emery, I said, is there anything off limits? She said, you cannot talk about period sex, but other than that, everything is on the table. So, as long no, that was the one thing I couldn't mention, right? I just wanted to make sure. So if you raise your hand, don't try to be funny. This is not your forum. This is a moment for me. It's one of the few times when I'm in front of people and other people are listening. So raise your hand. I know you have questions. What I'm wearing underneath my clothes. Go ahead.
No, I don't.
Anyway.
I'm still thinking about that.
It's not. Anyway. Oh, thank God!
So what are your sources say about the future of the Fountain Blue?
So
If you could repeat
Fountain Blue.
What do your sources say about the future of Fountain Blue?
Thank you so much for asking about something I actually know about. So unlike our friend Mark at 360 Vegas, it's not pronounced Fountain Bleu. It is actually pronounced Fountain Blue. You can find that on their website because there's another one in Florida. So the Fountain Blue is that, and this is just between us, right? Because as long as we don't put this out there in podcast form or on Facebook or anything else, I think we're good. But so the Fountain Blue was purchased, as you know. It's going to be called the Drew, presumably. I imagine they'll change that before anything else happens. So the problem is, a lot of people thought it would be related to the steel structure, right? Because it was exposed for quite a long time. But that's not really it. It has much more to do with the plumbing. So there are serious problems which the buyer did not know about until they actually got in there. So it's, from what I have heard, is that it is pushed back at least a year from the early plans. The financing is not entirely in place. There's a guy who keeps calling me. He's like, we have to talk about the Drew. I'm like, dude, I'm drinking. I'm taking care of lady parts. I got a day job, and I'm on the Twitters. I don't have time to be talking about your insider information. But anyway, I think a lot of it is plumbing related. That's not out in the world, so do not tell anybody. Because my source said the one thing you shouldn't mention is plumbing, because that will alert my source that I'm your source, so I'm not mentioning plumbing. But there are big problems there. I just burned the source. What else are we going to do tonight? People are, because what happens now is when I do a tweet that's one of these like, holy shit, like Rossi Rottenkotter is out of the LBCVA, the local TV stations, they tweet, what do you call it, the direct one, direct message me, and they go, oh my God, how do you know this? Who's your source? And I go, you tweeted me 50 times before saying, who's your source? What makes you think that I'm going to tell you a source? I would never burn a source, because even if the information is so good that, like, I want to be on national TV, I would never do that, because then nobody calls you. So, anyway, I'm probably off track. But thank you so much for asking. It looks like they're talking about it moving forward, but it's going to be at least a year pushed back. So I think, as I've said often on the podcast, all these places are watching each other. Resorts World, it's literally the name of the company doing the building is Sloth Construction Incorporated. It's the slowest because they're watching everybody. They're watching what Wynn's doing. Wynn is watching what everybody's doing. And nobody wants to go first because they're going to be sinking, Resorts World is going to sink money into that place until the convention center opens. So everybody's watching that as well. Thank you for asking. Oh, we had one in the back, but then, yes.
So we're actually taking questions on the Facebook Live feed.
Ooh.
And your buddy and mine, Mitch Silverman, has a question for you. Mitch would like to know, what does fleek mean?
Okay, so fleek, the kids today, they don't love casinos. Somebody, I must have tweeted it, said that some huge number of millennials, do you know who they are, right, Adam? They're the younger folk? Yes, there's a millennial. Oh, you're one too? Julie? Oh, nice. So they don't love casinos because they're kind of arrogant. I think dickish is the other word that comes to mind. If you don't like casinos, you're kind of dickish. It's not universally true. It's selectively true of millennials. You might be dickish and like casinos. That's a rare combination right there. So fleek, of course, is the equivalent would be lit and fire. That was an easy one. But if you're using fleek ironically, because as you know, did you know Taco Bell every day sends an email to their employees to alert them to the word, kind of the millennial word of the day, because they really want to be on point with the kids. So they will send an email corporate-wide and go, today, the word of the day is fleek. And it's going to be, this is how you use it. Or on fleek, do you use, up the fleek or on the fleek? No, it's fleek. Anyway, fun fact, unrelated to Vegas. Thank you, I'm an expert on everything, not just Vegas. Did you have a question?
Mr. Gibson.
Ask something else about Emory, because I'm straight up drunk right now, I'll tell you.
Okay, it's a three-part question. It's pretty simple. One, when's the pep rally for the night's going to be downtown? Two.
Oh, you mean the parade?
Is it a parade or a pep?
There's going to be a parade. So, can I answer each one?
Absolutely.
Hold on, don't forget the other two, because I have a feeling that's going to be it. So, you can do a parade if you win the Stanley Cup. But the NHL, and this is just between us, do not tell anybody this, because I've just burned 3 sources already. So the NHL has very strict rules. You cannot do a random parade for your team. Like, there was some suggestion the Knights need a parade whether they win or lose. Well, that NHL said, hell no. They said only the winner gets a parade. And it has to be like with a certain, 6 months. You cannot do a loser's parade. So they have to win. So I don't know when it'll be. It will be shortly after the last game of the Stanley Cup, which I've heard is a sports. Am I saying that right, Mark? Stanley Cup. Speaking of cups, one moment.
Yeah.
The people online might be expecting a little ice clinking. So there will be a parade, and the parade has a definite beginning and end. It will probably end at T-Mobile Arena. So that's all that can be said about that. But it will be very shortly after the last game. The other thing is, so I heard a number, $12 million. So for, not including tickets, for merchandise, food, all the T-Mobile stuff. Every game generates, that's at T-Mobile, generates $12 million. So, of course, a lot of the Knights fans want the thing to be done in 4 games. Not everybody wants that. They want it to go the whole thing, right? Because it's $12 million a pop. If you do 4 in a row, that's a lot of millions, where you don't get the millions. So they want it to go the whole thing. They don't want the Knights to fall behind, but they want to do more games. Is that what they call them? Matches? Puckball matches? I don't know. Anyway, thank you for that question.
Other than T-Mobile Arena, where's the best place to watch the game? And do you have any action prior to them making it this far on the Knights?
Okay, I don't know what action is. I would not go to a viewing party if you paid me. What's the other, what other part? No, I think Mark probably knows all this crap, right? Yeah, go to the D. They got this big outdoor arena. I had my alleged drone over the downtown event center when they set up all their tables to look like the logo. Flew up over it. I'm like, it is a very weird feeling because I'm not a big fan of sports, but you go in a group of like 5,000 people and they're all super excited about puckball, and suddenly you're like, go team with the, the stick guys. Like you get into it almost. It's as much as I get into it. What was the other question? So that's a big one, right? All the casinos probably have their little viewing parties or whatever, but the one downtown is a pretty big one. I work down there, so I'm a big fan of the value down there. They got hooch, they got food, they got and it's, I think they're the official viewing party, maybe when they're away or something, huh? Yeah, like, I don't know, but anyway, it's, hey, any non-sports questions? That'd be great. I have correctly broken stories about the sale of 10 casinos, and we're talking about these people with the hockey puck sticks. It is. I have no action. I'm neutral on the betting. I think the last bet I made was on somebody made a bet for me, and I won. So that was nice. It was like $12. The thing I don't understand is the plus and minus. So apparently, if it's a minus number, you're the favorite. Right. And so I'm now an expert in sports as well. Sports betting. Thank you. Hey, Eric, can you give him the mic? Thanks for listening this long. Michael, props to you for doing the DJ thing that was.
Yeah. Neil Wolf would like to know how high is up.
How high is up? Totally Las Vegas related question.
You messed up the joke.
What am I missing? I'm sure if it's a joke, it's at my expense, which I do not mind. Try it again.
This has been fantastic. I want to thank you guys very much. Thank you for your contribution.
Hey, here's a fun fact. How high is up? This is why I am the 11th best podcast in Las Vegas. So if you read the news release for Skylink, the new zip lines at the Link Promenade, it will say that the new zip line is 1,250 feet tall. It's in the release. I only know that because I quoted it, and somebody said, the stratosphere is maybe 1,400 feet. And I'm like, nobody's building a zip line that big. So fun fact, how high is high enough? How high is up? It's not whatever Caesars put in their news release about the fly link. Has anybody been over there yet? I hear the construction is underway. We have a follow-up?
I'll come right back to it. Is this a real follow-up?
Yeah, it has to be relevant to something where I can be funny or entertaining about it.
I noticed when I went by the link that when it comes across, is it supposed to land on the roof of the link? Because the way that it goes, kind of through the link promenade, it makes a turn. So I didn't know if it's supposed to start at the high roller and come down on link promenade. I just saw the construction, but it looks like it makes a turn, which makes for a weird kind of...
Yeah, a zip line cannot turn, so it's a direct line between the fourth... No, I'm not... No, it can't turn. It's gravity-based. But so it's starting at the vortex and it's landing at the base of the wheel. That is the plan. I work downtown, as some people know. I help market the other zip lines, so we know a little bit about what's happening. You want an exclusive? Oh, shit. So.
He thought my question was really funny.
No, his question was super funny. So, there is a chance that zip line, that potentially you could go backwards. I'm not shitting. It's important that not get out on the internet, like Facebook or anything, so just keep that under our hat. But yeah, it's going from the vortex down. It's going to have a great view of the shopping center. But anyway, not that I'm biased or anything. It's a very different experience. I have flown on Slotzilla the one time, and it was great. It was for a TV show. Oh, you want a little more inside scoop? Oh yeah, you do. So there's a show, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to mention it. It's called Unorthodox, DOCS. It's a show about unorthodox treatments of ailments, one of them being a fear of heights. And so they came and shot it, and that's why I flew on Slotzilla. Never mind the fact that I marketed the thing. But they filmed it probably a year and a half ago, and I was hypnotized by, it all comes full circle because it's always about Vegas, Mark Savard, the comedy hypnotist. He hypnotized me, and I flew on it, and it was quite fun. A little insider fact that, had you asked, hey, give us an insider fact about you that we didn't know, I probably would have said. What else you got? How about a question? Oh, sweet God.
So as you know, hey Scott, longtime fan. I had this interesting conversation with your friends, Derek Stevens and Nicole, last night, and they asked, it was about sometime between midnight and 4, I'm not quite sure. You're off the hook. I don't remember anything she said.
Yes, no, that's prime time for Derek and Nicole, midnight to 4.
Anyway, but what I do remember, something about sports coats. How many sports jackets do you own?
Okay. So I have been lucky enough through my podcast and mainly the Twitter account now, which is about to broach, supersede 3.6 million tweet impressions this month. I'm going for 4 million. Thank you, honey. The only one who cares. The only woman in recorded history who kind of gets a little stimulated when you talk about your tweet impressions. But, Channel 8, I now do a Monday night thing. I'm sure if you're local, you watch religiously every Monday night. I do kind of just drop in the same bullshit I've been doing here. But I do it kind of fancy, and I wear a sports coat. So I only have one blazer. Emery got it for me for my birthday. So oddly enough, Nicole, the wife of Derek Stevens, said to me the other night, the one blazer, you've been doing the show for 6 months now? And she said, get another blazer. So I'm literally today at Target looking for my Golden Knights bullshit, because I'm like, I gotta get one shirt, because a bandwagon style. And I walk up, and they have a section with coats that are like $60. And I'm like, I can have my primary blazer and a backup blazer that's $60, and people won't even notice the sleeve is like down to... So that's what I was doing today. Another fun fact about me. So this is why people don't listen to my podcast. This is a perfect example of why they don't. So I'm so glad. Oh, sweet God, yes.
We have one more in the back.
Chris, thank you. It's finally someone who is all about making me look good.
I was wondering if you would be willing to share. What is your biggest slot win to date?
Oh, see, that's it. See, Vegas related, something about me, and something everybody can get excited about because winning is good. I'm going to say I had a taxable one, so it wasn't huge. It was like maybe $1,600 or something. And but as you know, it's Las Vegas, so winning, it's really not about winning. It's really about having fun. This message brought to you by the LVCVA. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm almost annoyed by jackpots now because I'm like, now I have to stop gambling. I have to talk to people, interact. There's gawkers. You've seen them because as soon as you win, it's like, oh my God, good job, good job. Like I had anything to do with anything. Like I'm on a sports team. Like, oh, you're a winner. I literally hit the same button I've been hitting for 6 months. I've spent $8,000 winning $1,600, and now you're congratulating me. And all the slot attendants are like, oh my gosh, sir, congratulations. Handout. Where the F were you during the other $6,800 I was feeding into the machine? Can't find a cocktail waitress, can't find you, and suddenly, sir, oh my God, we hardly ever see that. You did a great job. Pet peeve of the night. That should be the listicle of the night. Pet peeves. Yes?
So we have a very difficult question coming in from Facebook Live. You're going to have to think long and hard about this. I'm going to need an intellectual answer from you.
Yes. No, period sex is fine because it's not. No, other than it's inconvenient because but you launder sheets and towels all the time. What difference should it make? Okay, next question.
So your buddy Mitch, our buddy Mitch, wants to know if your foot is better.
Oh, no, that's sweet. So I had a little of a plantar fasciitis, unrelated to age whatsoever, because even young children, infants, get this thing. It is a little bit better. Thank you for asking. It's hard. It has most affected the craps. And also, if you read my blog, which I know you don't, sensibly, I haven't been able to do as much kind of roaming. Like I haven't been to the what do they call that? The Monte Carlo thing, the Park MGM. There's a lot of stuff I haven't done because it's hard to walk long distances. But it's, there's one stretch, the doctor said stretch, so I've stretched and it's gotten better. Thank you so much for caring. The one piece of feedback that I get about the podcast is talk more about yourself, which I never thought to do, but I probably should. You know what it's like. You don't want to talk about yourself, right? Tony, I'm looking at you. Adam talks about himself nonstop. You guys don't, well, you talk about your gambling sessions, but you don't talk about your personal habits, or the fact that if you take Viagra, your gums get sensitive. When did that start happening? They're concurring. I want it noted for the record. Yes?
So the sponsor of our event, Tim Lawson from Europe, is now coming in with a question. He'd like to know, what is your favorite junk food in Las Vegas?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, number one, this is just hypothetical because drunk food involves getting drunk, which I would not do. I had some great sliders in the Redneck Bar. What's it called? Gellies. So I'm going to say, here's a good one. So when I'm drinking on Fremont, I've started going to this taco stand. This is also off the record. So they did they were literally trying to experiment with tacos, the Four Queens, right? They literally put up a folding table and some tacos on it. We're like, nobody's going to get tacos here. I'm like, you're 2 feet from Fremont Street, the drunkest street in the world, measurably, other than the Bourbon Street. They're like, we're going to put a couple of tacos out. People were literally chewing on the legs of the table. They were so hungry. And so it evolved into a permanent structure. It's called, I don't remember, Wanna Tacos. So that's one of my, and I hate tacos, but when you're a little tipsy and you're gambling and you want to spend maximum 5 minutes away from your favorite machine or table, that's what I go to. The food I hate, for some reason, it's really good there. Fremont is, you want to hear? So, you know that El Portal used to be a gift shop, right? So it was announced they're doing like a double-decker kind of food court, Cane's Chicken. It's like the heavens opened up and just started dumping Cane's chicken strips in my face because that's where I'm going to be eating lunch every day. So apparently they're going to do, they've applied for a liquor license to get like slushy drinks. that would be a not happening. But they are going to have a bar upstairs. It's very interesting downtown because there's all these ordinances about packaged liquor. Certain bars can sell, and you can leave the place. This place, you'll be able to buy liquor, but you can't leave. They'll literally have tasers at the door, and you cannot leave with your drink. I've read every ordinance. I cannot understand like these arbitrary rules about you get to sell liquor that leaves the building, you don't. But anyway, I think they're going to call it the Fremont Food something. Oh, thank you. Emporium, I think. Fremont Food Emporium. Anyway, exclusive. Thank you for asking about that. Did somebody ask about that? Oh. Anyway. And again, why people don't listen to my actual podcast. I've never wanted to do the podcast, but being here, I kind of want to do it. I'm coming up on, it's almost 300,000 downloads. That's mostly my mom and Emery. It's mostly my mom. Hey, an actual, the what? No, the last episode was the end of season 1, that's it. Thank you for listening to the show. See, you don't get to make that joke unless you actually listen to the show, and that's very moving. The other people in the room going, I still do not know what the... He must have a really good blog. Because the podcast sucks.
Hey, Scott.
Hey!
Any Steve gossip now that Steve's out or moved out, and what's going on?
Yes, so Mr. Steve Wynn, that's been a pet project of mine. Because I think everybody's ready for this internal investigation, right? In the internal investigation, I was thinking of doing a blog post where I literally write the news release that's going to come out about the internal investigation. Steve Wynn, he owned a couple of casinos, and it didn't end well. Just for people that aren't all that up on Steve Wynn. So, because what they're going to do is they're going to say that it was Steve Wynn, it was isolated, it was just him, there was no other enablers, the CEO now, innocent, doesn't know anything, the general counsel of the company that people were coming to saying, by the way, kind of rapey, can I say rapey? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can, it's in the lawsuit. So what's happening now is he's trying to relaunch phase 2 of his career being an art dealer. He did not have a real interest in art until he realized there were some tax deductions involved, and now he's an art aficionado. No denying Steve Wynn has changed Las Vegas forever, right? He's a visionary. But also a little on the, what's the word the kids use? Not fleek? Douchey? Has a little douchey element. I think everybody's on board with that now. So he has bought a mansion in Summerlin, which is west of the Strip. He bought a home that used to belong to his brother Kenny. Kenny was accused, I believe arrested for child pornography. I'm not making that up. So he now has this fancy mansion. The problem is Steve Wynn, this is a long answer to a short question. Steve Wynn has a vision problem. So his villa at the Wynn actually was built so he would not hurt himself if he bumped into the corners of walls. The mansion doesn't have any of that stuff, so he's having to have it customized so that the walls have either cushioning or they're rounded. So he's having a lot of work done. I think he got in trouble. I have something on my something on my shirt.
On your neck.
Okay.
I'd like you to steal third base. Steal third base.
So. Oh. Are you trying to make me cry? You're my hero. You're my hero online too. Your virtual you is a hero and real you. Thank you. So, yes. I think Steve Wynn is the biggest story in Las Vegas in the last ever. And it's because he has been venerated, pretty sure that's a word, and just still genuinely a visionary of Las Vegas, but it has been years and years and years of really bad behavior, humiliating treatment toward women who were intimidated into silence. The Wall Street Journal broke this story, but it was very well known what he was doing. I even knew, my mom knew, and my mom, she doesn't go on the internet, but she still knew. every dealer, every executive in that company allegedly knew. So it is a very sad story, but fascinating. And I've been beating the drum of accountability for other people in the company. So that's a really upbeat way to end the little live podcast. I cannot thank you enough for listening. Your yawns, I can barely see them because I've been drinking. So it's just a blur of yawns. Much appreciated. Thanks, of course, to everybody involved with ZorkFest. Thanks to Michael on the DJ tip. As the kids say, he's fleek. Thanks to your friendship and your support and your retweets, because without that, I'm sitting in a room playing with myself on a keyboard. Just very much appreciate it. Appreciate the passion. Every podcast, everybody who's online, Facebook, every social platform, very much appreciated. And it's just been, honestly, I'm exhausted, but I've never had this much fun. Tonight, on Channel 8, on, Making Out with Emery, these are all highlights of my life, my whole life. So you're a part of that. So thank you so much.
Just delete the live stuff. We have a request to just delete the live stuff. We'll just go back in history, delete the live stuff, no problem. So, want to take a moment and recognize a couple of the other podcasters that are here tonight. They may not be performing, but they came out to support the event. So we have Jason Gillikin, and Tony Snyder is here somewhere from Vice Lounge Online. There he is. We have Chris Kim from Faces and Aces Las Vegas. We have Ed Pizzarella from Miles to Go. Back there. All right, now this is the awkward part where I look around the room and see if I forgot anybody. All right, I think I'm safe. No, you're here with Neil. You don't get any, no recognition. No recognition. All right. Snacks are for sale over there. If you're interested, go ahead and talk to the beautiful women over there. They'll take care of you. So our next podcast this evening is Mark and Dr. Mike from You Can Bet on That. Not only do I know Mark's first name, I know how to pronounce his last name. DEVOL. Welcome, guys.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet. That's not what I'm supposed to say. Start it over. May 26, 2018. From Las Vegas, Nevada, this is episode 155 of You Can Bet on That.
Introduce yourself now.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark DEVOL, and sitting next to me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
So, Mike, I just want to let you know that this is live. There's no way that I can edit out anything from this podcast. So
finally.
Think of that when you're saying things, all right? And it's forever.
It's 3 hours usually we
record.
Yeah,
he cuts it down to 40 minutes.
I cut out a lot of Dr. Mike, trust me. But we're here at Podcasters After Dark. Welcome, everybody. This is a great event. I'll tell you what we're going to do. So like Scott, what we're going to do is we'd like to get some questions from the audience, and we've got some swag that we're going to give away if you ask a question. We've got these beautiful, you can bet on that, shopping bags that will make you look stylish when you're walking down Rodeo Drive. And we've got these little magnets here, too, that'll make you look stylish when you put it on metal things on Rodeo Drive. So please start thinking about your questions right now, because we don't have a lot of content otherwise. So for those of you who are listening to this podcast, not live, just listening to the podcast, Scott ROEBEN just did his podcast, Vital Vegas. And one of the things he was talking about is that when he wins a jackpot of, say, he was saying $1,600, everybody's coming up to him and saying, oh, congratulations, that's great, good. But when, he said, where were they when I was losing the $8,000 to get to that point? So we thought of a great suggestion.
Yeah, we've got you covered here,
Everybody
Scott.
should do this now. Just go through the casino, and when you see people playing, and maybe they've played a little bit long, you just go up to them, I'm sorry for your loss. Right?
Yeah, right. I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah. If they've had a recent death in the family, it's fine. Right. If they're losing, it's fine.
Right? We were even thinking maybe get greeting cards that say sorry for your loss. Maybe you don't even have to say anything. Just, there you go.
You just walk around and put them on chairs.
That's right. So do that. We've got a. So one of the reasons we want to get some questions here is, if you remember a while back, we had a caller who was called into our hotline and was very angry that Dr. Mike and I didn't actually answer the phone. He was upset. He had some questions, some gambling questions, was very upset. I think he cussed, and he didn't even ask his question, and that was the end of it. So this is your chance now to ask questions. Let's tell one story while we're waiting. So we're playing at Harrah's here this weekend. And we're playing, Mike is playing the all small tall.
All small tall, yeah.
And he's got a bet for the dealers. How much did you have for the dealers?
Well, I had $10 for them.
On each of them?
On each of them, and 20 for me.
So, I mean, that's a pretty good tip for the dealers if it hits. So it turns out that I think this woman was rolling.
Yeah.
And, in fact, rolled them all, right?
Gina was there. Gina witnessed this.
Do you see? Yeah.
And she did it later. The lady did it later, too.
Oh, and Larry, our good friend Larry is out there. Yeah, hit it earlier today. So anyway, that meant, how much did the dealers drop for themselves?
Let's see.
Well, it was over $1,000, right?
Yeah, so it's 700, and 10 times 150.
Well, anyway.
Yeah,
for tips, they dropped $1,000. And this was at Harrah's. We got such a kick out of it because the boxman yelled out, "Take that, Harrah's!"
As soon as it hit, he just stood up. "Take that, Harrah's!"
And then, this might have even been better. One of the dealers said, "I'm going to Costco tonight." Thinking, not a nice steak dinner or something? Just like,
no, he's loading up at Costco.
He's loading up at Costco, right? Hot dogs and sodas for everything.
I repeated that to a pit boss here, and he said, "Yeah, they have a good clam or chicken bake." That was it.
That's what
they have a great chicken bake.
Chicken bake. So that's what it was. It's actually a pretty good thing to do after that. So we got a kick out of that, and of course they got it. And Dr. Mike is very modest, but he tips the dealers a lot. I wish he tipped me as much as he tipped the dealers.
I made so many bets for you today. You didn't win one.
No, I didn't win one. So I'm like the kiss of death. So all right. So. Eric Rosenthal's in the audience. Does anybody have any questions? And wait for the mic to come around to you because, again, this is going to go out on our podcast eventually. So if the mic's not there, people might not be able to hear it. So.
All right. So we have some questions from Facebook Live first, and I'll just kind of rotate back and forth in between. So, Jay, you got to worry about something. Your wife is online looking to talk to other men. This question comes from the lovely Kelly Kuma, who wants to know what is your favorite craps bet on the table?
Favorite bet. See, I'm just going to let Mike answer this one because anybody who's seen me bet, I'm just betting pass line. I'm not making very interesting bets. So what's yours?
My favorite bet is a two-way world, a horn high yo, and a three-way 7.
He does that on every come out roll.
Yeah, because when it hits, it's fun. Right?
It is fun. That's what we've always said, right? I once worked out how much money he was losing on these bets alone. And I said, Mike, if you just took this out of your play, you'd be coming home with like $500 more every night.
I get this every week. He comes over to my house before we head to the casino. He brings me a spreadsheet of better ways I can play, of what my reward credits currently stand at. He has my passwords always. I do nothing. Just like the podcast, I just show up and Mark tells me what to do.
But he does make, so the two-way world, for those who don't know, that's a bet for himself and for the dealers. He is always taking care of the dealers. He's great with that, yeah. All right, any other questions?
Our next question comes from Jadan.
Hi, Jadan from Southern
Jan.
California.
Hi.
As a high-low-yo come-out bet person, I understand that, so great. My question is, how do you feel about working and not working on the come-out roll? Because I'm always working.
So you're talking about...
Are you talking about your hard ways?
Your hard ways?
Hard ways,
or,
place bets?
Any of the above.
Anything? You know what? I like to, although there have been times when I've been working, place bets, that kind of thing, I recommend not working only because craps is a negative EV game. And by that I mean in the long run you're going to lose. So when you're off on the come out, you are limiting your exposure to a negative EV game. So that would be my advice.
I agree with that, but you got to hop if you've got something pressed up.
Mike,
and that's not a good bet, but that's what you got to do. It's just what you do, Mark.
That's true.
You don't have a choice. You just do that.
My hard ways are off. Now hop all the hard ways. So Mike was giving you pointers last night, and Pai Gow. That's right.
Pai Gow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Pai Gow advice. Yeah, that's right.
We were working as a team last night for Pai Gow.
Yeah,
good.
As a matter of fact, I think you got the Joker, 4 times in a row when I stood there?
Nice.
Handicap on 3 of them, but...
Joker handicap.
Joker handicap.
Yeah, that's kind of a phrase you hear sometimes Pai Gow poker players say. They say Joker handicap. That means they got the Joker, but they still have a bad hand. Like maybe the best they can do with the Joker is ace high. It's called Joker handicap, and it's stupid because, I mean, you want the Joker, but, you know.
Well, yeah, the 3 of her hands, she had to play a straight with no head. I mean, and one of them was like 6-7 or something on top.
Oh, yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question coming in on Facebook Live. Back again, Tim Lawson from The Better Life. As one of the leaders in the gambling community, what has it been like watching this community grow and become stronger?
I'll tell you, as far as like the podcast community, since we started, 5 years ago, it's hard to believe.
5. Yeah.
But the podcast community has grown, and I know all the podcasters out here will agree how supportive we are of each other. And I think even Tony Snyder keeps saying that, you know, what's the expression, the tide raises all ships, and that I think is what's happening with this community. We all get along great, we support each other. And we're gambling. We're pretty much all recreational gamblers. And I know not all the podcasts are gambling. Some are Vegas related, that kind of thing. But we're here to have fun. We're not trying to make a living at this. And so, yeah, I think the community is great. And Tim Lawson's another great addition to this community. We met him at Gamblepalooza, and just a great guy.
Yeah, unlike real life where people do not get along,
That's
who are
right.
in the same professions. This is
plenty
totally
of
different.
Well, you know, I was talking to Eric earlier today. There are some other podcasters who, you know, hate each other, right? And because of what they're working. I think even Adam at one point was saying he was going to do a finance podcast at one point. He was just saying that, you know, these finance podcasts, they just don't get along at all. It's just a lot of arguing and hating each other. So this is a kumbaya community. It's great.
Next question, Mr. Tony Snyder.
I don't actually know what a world bet is or what a horn high yo bet is. Can you tell me what I'm betting on and how much I'm supposed to throw out on the table to make said bet?
This is easy. You should never make those bets. Next question.
No, he might want to have fun at some point, Mark. Tony might need to have fun one night. So a world is 5 basic bets. You're betting on 2, 3, 11, 12, and 7. So You can bet $5, $1 on each, $25, $5 on each. I suggest, $100, $25, $125.
5 separate bets, so you want to bet a multiple of 5. So you just throw out a $5 world bet. And
That's the world.
That's the world.
And for years, it was very common for people to get world and whirl, WHIRL, confused. And there were a couple casinos, didn't we see some that had whirl?
Most craps tables, a lot of them do have a space for the world bet now. And in fact, it's a picture of the Earth, a little world there. But if you go to Binion's downtown, at least last time we played there, it clearly says whirl, WHIRL. And in fact, there was one dealer there who just swore that that's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be, yeah. And horn high yo is just 2, 3, 11, 12. Those are the horn numbers. And if you give them $5, you're high on the yo, a horn high yo. So you have 2
betting
on the
a little bit extra on the yo. So
and you can go horn high anything. Go horn high ace deuce, right?
Yeah, Mike loves the ace deuce. So horn high yo, but again, never bet that.
What's the strangest casino gift giveaway you guys have received?
Oh, that is so easy. Yeah, a 6-pack of Coke. It was a 6-pack of Coke.
And the great thing about this 6-pack was we got a mailer for it. It wasn't just show up at the casino. It said, come on this day, play X number of hours.
They get bulk rate, I assume, okay? But to print up the flyer and then mail it, it's got to be more than a 6-pack of Coke. Because you can go to Costco and get a 6-pack really cheap.
No, you can't get a 6-pack at Costco.
Well, yeah, you can get 4 of them.
4 6-packs, yeah. It's funny, though, this last week at Harrah's Southern California, they gave away a taco holder that was in the shape of a truck. So it's like this model truck that you can put 2 tacos in and then serve. Am I wrong?
No, you went and got it. Okay.
I brought it home. I said to my wife before I showed her, I said, now, you know what, Sherry, I'll tell you, a lot of times these giveaways at Harrah's are just crap, but here's something we can finally use.
I'll tell you, it's so funny, because honestly, some of the giveaways are great.
Some are not bad.
They gave some pans away not too long ago that were unbelievably good.
Yeah.
And then we've got some stuff that you use once, and it actually falls apart as you're using it.
Okay, next.
Are you giving prizes? You're supposed to be giving prizes to all these
I don't
people.
want it. That'll take too long. If you asked a question, come see us and we'll give it to you. So come over to our table afterwards.
In the order.
Yeah. In the order you asked the question. So keep track.
I'm going to play a little bit into Mark's geeky side for this question. So if Thanos snapped his fingers and craps disappeared and turned into ashes, what would be your go-to game to play at a casino, and would you find just as much enjoyment?
Well, I'm assuming that in the next movie everything's going to come back, and so Craps is coming back, so it's moot.
I think Doctor Strange would just take the...
Well, he was one of the ones that... spoiler alert, he was one of the ones that disappeared.
I know, but before he disappeared, they didn't show it. He actually went back in time and used what stone he has.
I don't think there's any game I'd get as much enjoyment out of, but it'd probably be blackjack. Yeah, I mean, that's what I played before I learned craps. I played tons of blackjack and still do enjoy playing it. And, I learned to count using a really crappy count system, but I had fun doing that. So, yeah, it'd be blackjack. Yeah. What about you?
Just real quick, before I say anything, tell them about the guy on the strip today.
Which one?
The preacher.
Oh, I'm not going to tell.
Yeah, tell him that. That relates to his question.
This is stupid, but great. Thanks for making me say this. So out in front of, I think it was like between Paris and Planet Hollywood, there was a preacher out there who had a microphone, and he was saying, repent and stuff like that. And one of the things he said was, repent and go back to your first love. And I said,
he turns to me, he's blackjack?
All right.
I forgot the question.
So, fellas, we were sitting at supper the other night, and I asked you a question, and y'all told me to call in and ask that question on the show. I'm drinking right now. I'm going to be sober then, so that's not happening. What everybody wants to know, what's with the new outro on the episodes week by week?
All right, so if you listen all the way to the end of our show, after the music, you'll hear this quote. This woman says, I think it's something like, Mike, that was wonderful. I didn't realize you were so talented. The audience is going to love you.
Yeah.
And so we've gotten, hey, what is that from? What is that from? All right, it is from a movie or a TV series. We're going to offer a $100 Amazon gift card if anybody can figure out what it's from, and nobody's going to figure out what it's from. But it's from a movie or a TV show. Start thinking about it now, and maybe in future episodes we'll start giving some hints. Mike, you don't even know what it's from.
No, I don't. He won't tell me.
Yeah.
But Marcus had that on there for quite a while, and we were just waiting for somebody to mention it.
Yeah.
So we could say,
So
well,
listen to the
figure it out.
or see if you can figure out it, and you're not going to get it, but try to figure it out, and then maybe we'll give some hints along the way. $100.
I want somebody to get that so bad because he's so certain nobody will get it.
No, there's no way.
So please get it.
Yeah, 2 well drinks and a $100 Amazon gift card.
Good evening, gentlemen. Being a little bit of a craps newbie, just teetering with it, almost coming from where you came from, Blackjack AP, haven't quite crossed over into craps yet. Is there such thing as a craps AP, and is there any way to get backed off in craps like you can with Blackjack?
Okay, so our answer is no. If you're talking about real craps, and we're talking about craps like they have here in Vegas where you're rolling the dice, no. Now, there are some people who believe in what's called dice influencing. Not dice control necessarily, but dice influencing, where they think that over a period of time, they will throw fewer sevens than the average random roller. We don't believe in that, but we have no way to disprove it, so we don't get in discussions about it. So no, there is no way. Now, with card craps, there was a case relatively recently where Richard Munchkin and, can everybody think of the guy's name? He's a very famous AP, and he writes a lot, super smart, kind of a recluse. I'm not going to think of his name. Anyway, they
Grosjean.
What's it?
James Grosjean.
Yeah, James Grosjean, thank you. They took a look at a craps game in Oklahoma that was card-based. They were using a shuffle machine. And they found some non-randomness to the way these cards were being dealt out for this card-based craps game. And they found a way to exploit it, and in fact, there was a New York Times article about it. So, in cases like that, yes. But in a regular craps game, no. Unless you believe in dice influencing, it's a negative EV game. There's no way to get over it. In fact, Anthony Curtis today at his panel was listing off all the beatable games, and somebody mentioned craps, and he said, no, that's not one. So,
I'm going to send it back over to Facebook Live. Our buddy Vegas Bun Boy has a question.
Nice. Boo?
Boo? Who's booing?
Oh.
You know what? Adam, get out of here. Security?
Thank you.
Security?
Thank you.
All right. Our friend Vegas Bun Boy has a question. How do you convince your wives that recreational gambling is okay? Is it... Wait. There are options.
Oh,
Is it magic or drugs?
A little of both, I'd say.
Yeah, he's the doctor. He's making prescriptions. Oh my God, our wives are saints. Honestly, we're going to the casino every week. I had a weekly poker game that we used to do every week, but Dr. Mike doesn't come anymore, so that game's dead. Thanks very much, Dr. Mike. We do the podcast every other week. Hats off to them. Really, honestly.
It's harder on them than us.
We got super, super lucky. It's amazing that they put up with us. But I think they know how important this show is to us.
Yeah, and it keeps us happy. Well, see, probably more me than you, right?
That's true.
I'm much happier if I get to go to the casino.
Now, honestly, my wife says that I am a happier person since we started the show. So that might have something to do with it.
I have a question.
Yes, you in the front.
So, the craps. You probably have a go-to answer, but I don't know what it is. The smartest and the dumbest bets in craps.
So, the smartest bets are the pass line and the don't pass.
Right.
Because they have the lowest house edge on the table. Now, having said that, the really smartest bet is taking odds on those bets, because the casino literally has no edge on those bets. It's a
So theoretically, in infinity, you know,
if you
you'd
played
break even
forever,
on that.
you wouldn't have won or lost on that bet. Now, but you can only make it when you've made a pass line or a come bet. So again, pass line, don't pass, come bet, don't come. What's the stupidest?
Stupidest bet is that new.
No, it's the
field
horn
thing.
high yo.
No, it's that new field thing that Caesar's properties have. What's it called?
It's called Fielder's Choice. It's a relatively new bet. It's a gimmicky bet. It takes up a huge chunk of the table. It's got a huge house edge. The dealers hate it. Nobody bets it. Don't look for that to stay.
Yeah, in the 6 months it's been around, I saw one lady bet it, and she thought she was betting something else.
Yeah. No,
and she complained when she lost, like, no, I was supposed to win there. And
it takes
like,
up so
no.
much space, people think they're betting on the field. It takes up more space than the field. So, yeah, that's bad. Now, the stupidest thing that we see people do at the craps table, other than make these high house edge bets, when you're playing the don't pass or don't come, we see people, if the point is 6 or 8, they say no action and they take their bet back, which is incredibly stupid, because once you got to that
you
point,
actually have an
you're going to
edge.
get paid even money for a bet that you're likely to win. You're more likely to win than lose. So saying no action on when a don't pass goes up to a 6 or 8, that's the dumbest thing we
that's
say.
probably the dumbest thing you ever see.
Yeah.
So our buddy Ed from New Jersey, I'm included in this question. All right. So Dr. Mike claimed that he was going to yell muckleshot at the craps table, and Eric was supposed to throw the dice and yell Yahtzee. Did either happen?
Not yet. Not yet, but it's coming.
I'll agree on my end as well. Not yet.
Yeah, not
All right.
yet.
Yeah, but see, now if you do it, you're going to have to do it at a real table, right? Because the tournament's over. So that's going to be rough. I want to be there for it.
We'll make it work.
All right. And then, Mike, are you going to say muckleshoot or mucklashoot?
I'm going to say muckleshoot, because a good friend of ours says that's the right way to say it.
We actually had this last episode. We had one of our listeners said, "Oh, it's actually pronounced muckleshoot," but then we had some people say, "No, it's muckleshoot." So we don't know. We don't live there, but yeah, okay.
So, Mark, if you're all about positive EV games, how do you even tolerate playing craps?
That's a good question. You don't even press your hard ways. Come on, answer that.
I don't have the patience to sit and really play a positive EV game. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you. I love playing poker, and I think I'm a pretty good poker player.
He is a very good poker. He's a very good poker player. You should be playing that all the time.
Yeah, but see, I don't have the patience for it. If I came to Vegas and I had to play poker the whole time, I'd be thinking, I wish I were in the craps table with Mike. It's more fun. That's all it comes down to. It's more fun.
But he has no patience. Today at Planet Hollywood, a dealer asked him why he couldn't stand still, because he was pacing back and forth.
Yeah, if you've ever seen me, I can't even stand at the table, because it's like, oh my. And everybody's, oh my gosh, craps is such a fast game, and I'm thinking, come on, just roll.
Okay, I know you guys are big horse racing fans, so is Justify a good bet for the Triple Crown?
No. We don't think so.
But prove us wrong. I think we talked about on the last show, if you saw the Preakness, he won. I mean, he easily won, but there were some horses that were coming up at the end there, and we're thinking the distance for the Belmont, no, he's not a good bet.
And they always put a few horses in at the Belmont that are distance runners that specialize.
Right, it's not
in
like
that.
all the same horses run in all three races. You know, there are these specialized races.
It's like the guy that runs 100 meters and then he enters into the 200, but there's a couple of guys that all they do is the 200. That's what the Belmont.
And there's also a difference between do you think Justify is going to win and do you think he's a good bet? And those are two different questions. We talked about this too. You know, if the odds aren't right, horse bettors won't bet on a favorite if they're just not getting enough return, because they're not guaranteed to win. So we say no. We'll see in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So some of our friends that we meet, we don't actually know what they look like. They're Twitter friends. So I found out that this is two-way hard 8, and he has a question for you.
Hello. So you guys get to play on one last craps table for the rest of your life. Any table, any casino, past or present. Which one?
Hey, you'd say what I would play.
It would be Harrah's where we play, no?
No, for the rest of my life, I'm just going to play at this one table. If I could go there.
I don't know, the Caesar's Palace, the one, see now I don't know. Just
yeah,
answer.
Caesar's Palace,
Oh, okay.
the one we hit the fours on.
Okay, so yeah, at Caesar's Palace, there is a table. If you're at the cashier and you're looking at the craps area, it's the first one on your left. Not only did we hit a bunch of fours that we had pressed up to $5,000 each, it was amazing. Both of us started at $25 bets and pressed it up to $5,000, and it hit at $5,000, which was the maximum at Caesar's Palace at the time. That exact same table is where I rolled a 6-number fire bet on my birthday. So
that's where we'd go.
You know what?
Plus, we cashed out for $40,000. That helps too. That's why we go to that table.
That'd be my answer too. Yeah.
And I have a question for the person who asked the question, David. Are you pretty proud of Mark?
You proud of me? You're so proud. We're at Planet Hollywood today. And
Not
yeah,
so much.
exactly.
I'm not
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Mike was putting pressure on me. Make David proud, make him proud. And I did, didn't I? Yeah, I had a good roll. All right.
Next question.
Hey, fellas. So is it better to bet at a table with a large crowd or a smaller group of people?
It's better to bet at a large crowd for rating purposes because the game is going to move slower, but you're probably going to be rated at the same rate as if you were at a table with not as many players. Do you agree?
That's 100%. However, we always like to go to a table that's empty because we can't stand those slow rolls.
Yeah, and talking about me not being patient, we go to empty tables. But really, it's better to go to full table, not because you're more likely to win, but because you're going to get rated better for less amount of playtime.
Right.
Hello. For Gamblepalooza, you had mentioned, Dr. Micah, about a basic strategy. Just for Keno, what you'd like to play, it really flew over my head. What is that? 2, I'd like to say thank you for always being approachable at all of these events and enjoy it. 3, where are you guys going to play tonight?
Okay, for Keno, because $20 bills are so easy to pull out of my pocket, I like to play a $15 20 spot. They have the 20 spot special. I put $15 on that, or excuse me, $5 on that.
$5.
And then I play $15 on a 4-way ticket where all the combinations of 4 numbers. So I pick 4 numbers, all the possible combinations, all the 1s, all the 2s, all the 3s, all the 4s. That's $15 and $5 on the 20 spot. And I have had a lot of good luck.
The nice thing about and it is funny, he has won a lot on the 20 spot. The nice thing about the 20 spot is you will win if you get no numbers. You'll win if you get 1 number. I think you win if you get 2 numbers.
Yeah, you win if you get 2.
And then the one, once you get to 3, 4, 5, 6,
losers.
7, you don't win. And then, the higher ones.
I'm really good at getting nothing. So I play to my strength. I get nothing out of 20 numbers.
I think tonight we're just going to go down here, at least initially. We're all here. That's probably what we'll do. I think we're running kind of late here, so maybe one or two more.
Actually, I have a question.
Okay.
So I'm going to delay this a minute. So both you can bet on that, and at the time it was Vegas Fanboy, or shared at Trippy in years past.
That's right.
Now, I think you guys put on a hell of a show tonight, and I don't think, like millennials, that everybody should win a trophy. So nobody knows about this. I haven't discussed this with anybody, but I'm making an executive decision on the spot. I'm going to create an award called the Zorky, and I'd like the audience tonight to decide. I'm sorry, Scott, I'm going to disqualify you. You were fantastic, but it's really just between the two of them. It's going to be a tiebreaker because if you win, then everybody has 1, and then the millennials win, and we can't let the millennials win. Okay? Would you be willing to enter into a friendly wager between yourself and now Travel Fanboy over a Zorky that I will provide? I don't know what a Zorky is.
Absolutely. We'll win hands down. Yeah. There's no question. Have you heard his show? Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
All right, I think that's our time. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Thank you.
thanks. And hey, I'll tell you what, how professional, how fantastic is ZorkFest? Man, when we got here, I mean, just unbelievable. A lot of credit to Eric and Michael Traeger. I mean, just a fantastic event. We really appreciate it.
Very
and
good.
thanks to everybody at TI, too. I mean, it's just great. And honestly, Mike and I, we love doing this show. It's a big part of our lives. When we started, we had no idea, what to expect. And it's just great. We love to meet everybody. It's nice to be able to talk about these things with other people, not just between the two of us.
Right, exactly.
So that's great. So
don't forget to get your prizes.
yeah, come on over, get your prizes. And then, again, sorry, you got to listen to Adam's show now.
Yeah.
Great. We're having mic issues. So, Adam, I only came up with that idea because I thought they did such a great job. It's gonna add a little bit of pressure, but I believe in you. I know you are a funny, dynamic speaker. I'm looking forward to this. No pressure at all. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Bauer, Travel Fanboy.
Okay, we're all good? All right, so just a couple of things. I was asked, we got to do a couple of housekeeping things, just so you guys know, for the first few minutes here. Check. Oh, here we go. Hey, we got it? Okay, sorry. Now that the mic's working. We got to do some housekeeping stuff. For the first 8 minutes or so, TI, Treasure Island, has actually asked me to read their new privacy policy for all you guys. What the hell's going on out there? I get 18 emails a day about privacy policies being updated. I'm like, hey, Wendy's, I just had a burger 8 months ago. It's just between us. It's not a big deal. We no need to share that stuff. But anyway, I do want to thank, where's Michael? He's probably talking to somebody. I want to thank Michael Traeger. Where is he, back there? Michael's an absolutely awesome guy, very excitable, gets really excited about ZorkFest. Very much incapable of having a 2-minute conversation. I don't know if that's the thing. Yeah, well, Michael will call you and say, I need 5 minutes of your time. After 45 minutes, he'll be like, okay, so anyway, that was my third trip to the Stardust. Let me keep going. And if you get an email from Michael Traeger, it's like an emergency email in the subject line. Please read ASAP, response need. I'm like, holy shit, is ZorkFest canceled? And it'll be like, what's your t-shirt size? I'm like, Michael. My God. It's either that or there are these crazy long-winded emails with like one question hidden in the email. It's like 18 paragraphs. It's like a CVS receipt that you get. You're like, I think there's something important in here, but it's 18 feet long. It's like a scroll. But also thank you to the beautiful staff manning the front there. Amanda and Yana were fantastic all day. Dave with ZorkFest. Really, really good stuff from them. So thank you to you guys. A little bit about me. I'm actually a teacher. Hold your applause. It's okay. Public servant. It's not a big deal. We don't need to talk about it. But I try to do unique things with my students. I try to teach them lessons. So in every test that I create for my students, I put a question about the Kardashians on there. And if they get it right, they lose all their points. Just a way to show them what's important. It's awesome. This is a great time for teachers. It's the summer. Summer's a great time. You always get people that get angry at teachers. They'll be like, we don't want to pay you more. You only work 9 months a year. And teachers, they try to defend themselves. Like, you have no idea how hard we work all summer. You have no idea. And I'm just like, are we supposed to be working on something? Like, last week I watched 8 episodes of Law & Order in the same day. And that was my most productive day of the summer. So I'm not like a really good participant there. But I'm really busy. I'm writing a book right now, which is awesome. Not about gambling. It's actually called What to Expect If You're Not Expecting. And it's just a list of all the awesome stuff you can do if you don't have kids. It's just, you can just do anything. It's just blank. You just write down your hopes and dreams, and then you just go do them. It's like a diary or a wish list or something like that. It's awesome. So I've been busy. That's why my podcast isn't updated that much. But I am a millennial. I'm called Adam the Millennial. Some people like to call me that. I'm not I'm not your standard millennial, though. I actually have money, okay? I made it the old-fashioned way. I sold my old Pogs to senior citizens by telling them it was Bitcoin. So that's a thing. You gotta be creative. I know you heard a lot of things today about really cool ways to maximize. You gotta learn from this guy, okay? I got creative stuff that I do. And don't act like Bitcoin and millennials like we have a monopoly on bad money decisions, okay? Baby boomers, 1.4 million of you people bought pet rocks and thought that was a good idea, okay? So just calm down a little bit. What I think is funny about millennials, though, so we didn't cause the housing crisis or anything like that, but we're suffering from it. We're constantly telling young people, like, hey, get smaller houses, right? Spend a little bit less on houses. So you know what we're buying now? Have you seen this on HGTV? The tiny houses. Those used to just be called trailers, is what they were. We're trying to class it up a little bit, right? Tiny houses. Are you going over to your friend's tiny house? If my friend said, hey, Adam, you want to come over to a party at my tiny house? I'm like, no. No, I don't. Because you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get a little bit drunk, and then I'm going to have to try and figure out how to work your composting toilet, and that's not going to be a fun thing to do. Okay? A tiny house. It's ridiculous is what it is, right? And then they'll be like, oh, I'm free. I'm financially free, right? I'm off the grid. No, you didn't. You just created a boutique trailer park in your parents' front yard. That's all you did. I'm sure the neighbors love it. They're having a great time. It's awesome. Just bringing down property values is all you're doing, okay? Any HGTV fans out there? It's the best. It's the best way to spend a Sunday is HGTV. It's the best show. With totally unrealistic pricing expectations and unrealistic salaries, right? They'll be like, oh, I make corn husk roses on Fremont Street, and I'm the kick me in the nuts guy for $20 on Las Vegas Boulevard. Our house budget is $1.2 million. What? What's going on? And honestly, if you've ever been on HGTV and you've been a prospective homeowner, just know that I have hated your guts every moment that you were on camera, okay? Because they have the ridiculous complaints. They go in the house and like, oh, the paint's not right. You know how you fix paint? You paint over it, okay? They go into the house, oh no, I can't do this. I need a double vanity. Oh really? In your last house you were pissing in the kitchen sink, but now you need a double vanity? Do you need? I would lose it if I was one of those realtors. I'm like, you know what, take your mid-century modern ass and get out of this house, okay? You don't even know what you like at this point. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's the thing. Or anyone watch Property Brothers? Property Brothers? That's a real unrealistic show, too, because everything breaks on that show. But the prices are ridiculous. So, one of Jonathan or Drew, whatever they'll call him, be like, hey, I got some bad news about your house. It fell down. It's going to cost $82 to fix. And they're like, if we have to, I guess we will. It's fun though. I'm upset. Any other popular shows you guys like on HGTV? What's the other big one? Fixer Upper's great. Is that Joanne and Chip? They are saints, by the way. Okay, if you say a bad word about Joanne and Chip, I'm going to come after you. Is basically what happens. Oh man. But yeah, I've been, one thing I'm getting a little bit frustrated with are people my age, the millennials. And you see them out walking around Las Vegas right now. The millennials who think that they know how to do Vegas, right? This is my city, right? You hear them all the time. I heard a girl on the plane, she's at a bachelorette party, on the way here, like, hope Vegas is ready for us. I'm like, Vegas is ready, okay? It's gonna chew you up and spit you out, okay? Guaranteed, 16 hours, you're gonna be drunk after your 8th Red Bull vodka, barefoot on Las Vegas Boulevard, bitching about your friend Becky who doesn't understand it. It's your party. That's what's gonna happen. Every time. You're walking around barefoot, just complaining. Where is everybody? There's crying. Oh, I just gotta get to the Luxor, and they're at like the Stratosphere. And I'm a jerk, so I'm like, it's walkable. You're fine. All right. Just hold those heels in your hand. Just enjoy the trip, okay? Don't miss your flight. That's what it is. The worst are the bros, though. You get the bros, right? The chest out. They got the bro tanks on. They think they're ballers. We're ballers. We got a bottle. You're not a baller. You spent $600 on a bottle of Absolute. You're an idiot. That's a terrible decision to make, okay? That's not a baller. You want a true baller? It's a true story. A guy at a club here in Las Vegas recently spent $20,000 on beer at the club. You know what he did with it? He used that money to buy the beer so he could build a fort around himself out of the cases so nobody would talk to him. That's a baller thing to do. To be forced to be out with your friends, but to be so rich that you just want to build a beer fort around you is an awesome thing. That's a baller, okay? Spending $800 on a bottle of Grey Goose, that's not a baller thing to do, okay? Because no girls are talking to you anyway. They're drunk at the Stratosphere trying to figure out how to get home, okay? That's what it is. Just complaining the entire time. We're ballers. But the worst now are the old Vegas people. People have been to Vegas so many times and they hate how Vegas is changing, right? It's not the way Vegas used to be, right? Everything was cheaper in the 90s. It's like, yeah, it's called inflation, okay? Relax, okay? Sorry there's no penny candy anymore. How was the Depression? Were you okay back then? Was it fun over here? Just relax. The parking fees, I don't pay for it. Just don't drive anymore. You don't get to park. Driving's the worst. Driving's the worst thing you can do. Anyone else get road rage when they drive? I get road rage all the time. So I live in Detroit. You actually can't get road rage in Detroit because bad things will happen if you get road rage. So I get I'm sure you guys get it too. I get sarcastic road rage. You guys ever get that? Which is where basically you just say passive-aggressive things to the other drivers on the road, right? You're like, oh, I guess this is how we're driving now. Welcome. Anyone ever do that? Right? Oh, no, this is your road. Just enjoy it. Congrats on your first day of driving. It's fantastic. I love those. And I like taking Uber. Uber's the best. They pick you up. Problem with Uber, though, is no one's honest about being an Uber driver. Every Uber driver I've ever had has some amazing job when they're not Ubering. They're like, no, I just do this for fun. I actually sell luxury real estate. I'm like, that must be going well, okay? Just own it. It's fine. I'm not judging you. I think it's great. I'm a podcaster. That's far more embarrassing than driving an Uber, okay? Just relax. Be honest with each other. Love Uber. Oh, man. What do I have here? Oh, I needed ideas to make Vegas better. Anyone have any good make Vegas better ideas? I've got one. I thought to make it easier for guys to come out to Vegas, a way to convince women to come with us is if Target opened up its own resort in the middle of the Strip. Is that not a bet? It's pretty... I gotta trademark that or something. A Target in the middle, you just drop them off there on Monday, you come pick them back up on Friday, they'll come out super happy. They love it there. That's all they do, right? They just want to go in, find a dress with some pockets in it so they can get drunk at a wedding and just do this all the time. And they know they do. The girls understand that joke, okay? You're not going to get it, but they love that shit, right? And the biggest gamble that you can do is letting your wife go into Target with no shopping list, right? Because they're not getting out of there without spending $100 or so, right? But the interesting thing about women in Target is they're more obsessed with Target than we are with Las Vegas. There are Target blogs that analyze price patterns in their tags. Anyone know about this? There are blogs where I know. Did someone say yes? Yeah, they have them. Where it'll literally state like, okay, if the price ends in 9, a digit of 9, it's not its final sale price yet. It'll go down 2 further times to say, oh yeah, she's shaking her head. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Once it hits the digit of 7 in the final number of the price, then that's its final sale, and it's when you should purchase it. Meanwhile, Target's like, are we doing this? Is this a thing that we're doing? We've just been sending Ricky out with the price gun. What the hell's he doing out there? And they always come out. I know, it's fine. It was on sale. It's on sale. Everything's on sale. There's no regularly priced item at Target. That's how they do it, okay? So you can't even, and it's not a deal if you weren't going to plan on buying it anyway. Any good Vegas, any make Vegas better things? Yeah, you got one? Okay, public flogging of those who support CNF fees. We got one clap from the guy who cares about it a lot. Okay, so CNF fees are basically what are they? A concession fee that they add on to the final price of food that nobody here really knows or cares about at this point, and is not worth. Yeah, public floggings. I like that. Mosiers who just stop in the middle and look up at some random thing all of a sudden. Find them at Disney World. Any other make Vegas better things? Good, you guys are participatory. It's really fun. Glad you guys showed up for the other shows. Fantastic. Is Facebook Live dead too? Did we just turn it off? Is that what happened? Really good, guys. I boo Vegas Bun Boy one time, and this is what happens. It's not even in this country. Yeah. Absolutely. So no tilting of the chairs at the slot machine or the video poker machine to save your spot. No playing or sitting at a bar that has bar top video poker without playing the video poker machine. Just get those people out of here, okay? Leave. Feel bad for them, okay? I always do like the people that go up to like a great bar, like Chandelier Bar or something like that. You know, they just go up and they get like an $18 Corona and they leave. I'm like, what are you doing right now? My God, go enjoy your $600 bottle of Jim Beam or whatever it is that you're going to buy later. Love Vegas, though. It's tough. It's getting tougher to get to Vegas, though. Flights are getting weird for me. I don't know. I try to do like I do the Google flight stuff. I try to learn from like the guys earlier. And I don't know if anybody else sees this, but every time I try to like plan an itinerary, Frontier Airlines always shows up as an option, right? Like cheapest option. But I don't think that's an actual airline. I just think it's just there to mess with me because they're like, yeah, we got a 10 a.m. flight to Vegas, but you got a layover in Denver until September. And I'm like, okay, flexible, I guess. That's fine, right? And Spirit's a thing. Any Spirit fans? Yeah, there are Spirit fans. They just hide it. They're ashamed, is what it is. It's Spirit fans. I like Spirit. Because Spirit, every airline has its own defender, and Spirit does too. Because Spirit's cool because they're just upfront with everything. They're like, yeah, we got a layover in Seattle, and also we're going to need you to get off the plane and help load the other bags on, if you don't mind. But people are like who like Spirit are like, no, I love it. It's a good workout. I like it. You know, it's a big seat. It's fun. I love Spirit. It's awesome. Spirit's great too because I feel like when they set up their plans for like booking flights, they're just hoping that's what it is, right? So many people have gone to like the check-in counter at Spirit, and Spirit's been like, yeah, we don't have a plane, so good luck with that. And you're like, wait, what happened? They're like, well, we never really had one. We were just kind of hoping that something would show up. Like, do we get any compensation or what? We got like Panera gift cards we can give you, I guess. I don't know. Is there a Panera in the airport? No, there's not. But just, you're not flying anyway, so just go home and just kind of enjoy it. I defend it too. I defend Southwest. I'm a Southwest fan. Right, Southwest. We all love it. That engine blew up. We're like, it's fine. It happens, right? 1 every 10 flights. It's not a problem, right? You can always tell the great people in society too by the people that are confused by the numbers and the letters of the Spirit, boarding process, right? The A4s or the A1 to there, and they just randomly go up like it's a cattle call. They have no idea what's going on. Absolutely love it. But it seems like we got travel people, so they're like, what, Delta? Fancy stuff? Delta stuff? Yeah, whatever, okay? Fun today to meet all the travel bloggers as well. Give it a hand for the travel bloggers. I don't think we have any here. I don't think there's any travel bloggers here. Did we forget to tell them that this was like a Centurion Lounge or something so they'd finally show up? So they love that stuff. They like Centurion Lounges and Alaska Airlines for some reason. That's all they write about. Okay. I like these travel bloggers. I don't like really young travel bloggers, like the 20-year-old travel bloggers, and you got to have an immersive experience, right? You got to be with the culture. You got to have a full-on culture. I'm like, no, I want a watered-down cultural experience. That's what I want, okay? I don't want to be immersed in the culture, right? I don't want to be one with I'm not looking for a job when I go to Italy, okay? I don't want to be in a kitchen kneading dough. I just want someone to serve me pizza. That's all I want. And they're all like high and mighty on how they travel. They're like, I once ate, fly larvae out of a street merchant's hand in Mogadishu. That's how you travel. Like, no, that's how you get dysentery, okay? What are you doing? Did you ever play Oregon Trail? Learn from this stuff, all right? What's the matter with you? I don't even know what dysentery is. I think it's bad. I'm not sure. People get dying after you got it. That's how you travel. Oh, really? Because I like having guac and chips and margaritas delivered to me on a beach. I don't know how to travel. No, it means I have more money than you. That's all it means, okay? Calm yourself down. We'll travel. Immersive experiences. You want that? You want to come visit me in Detroit and have an immersive experience? What are we going to do? On the way to dinner, you want to stumble across a crime scene or something? Is that going to be fun to do? Is that what you want? You don't want an immersive experience. This is immersive, by the way. Just so we're this is an immersive experience. I got to share this story, though. This is a true story. When I first moved out to Detroit, so I'm a teacher. I try to be politically correct as much as I can, right? And so I remember this. I was walking in downtown Detroit. I was trying to get to my apartment, right? So I'm on one side of the street, and I realized that my apartment is on the other side of the street. Once I realized that I had to cross to the other side of the street, I saw an African-American man walking towards me on my side of the street. And on my head, trying to be politically correct, was going, wait, he just saw him, and now he's going to see me see him, and then see me cross the street like I'm afraid of him. And I don't want him to think that I'm afraid of him, right? So that's all going on in my head, doing this thing. But my body is doing like some Rain Man approaching the blackjack table thing where I'm just not really moving, but I'm kind of moving, and just looking up at him and trying to decide what to do. And he just kept getting closer, and I couldn't decide if I was going to go over there, so I'm just doing this, as white as can be, looking at him. And so, he finally got close enough, and I just couldn't, I wanted to convey what I was thinking, but it wouldn't come out, so he got really close. I just said, I'm not afraid of you. I swear, I'll never forget this. He looked at me, he goes, you should be, motherfucker. And he just walked away. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. It was fantastic. I'll never forget it. He was the best guy ever. Never forget his name. I think he just might have been an angel, is what it was. Might have been an angel. Absolutely true story. I'm not making that up. I said that we would take a couple questions if we had them. After that, I don't know where we can go from there, really. Is what it is.
That's a tough follow.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
If anybody has any questions for Adam.
Any millennial questions that I can answer? What's that? My bachelor party story? So my bachelor party was in Las Vegas, and I had 10 guys coming out. My brother was there. My brother's here on this trip as well. We wanted to do something different, so I had the idea that we were going to rent scooters and just ride up and down the strip, which is a terrible thing to do. You see people drive out there. That was terrible. No helmets, not a good thing to do. Then I had a buddy who said, hey, one night we should just all dress up as Elvis. That's a thing that we should all do, all 10 of us. And then the idea became to merge them together. So we rode up and down the strip in Elvis suits, back and forth, just circling the north end of the strip, having people take pictures with us. But the one weird thing was we got caught in the middle of a taxi union protest. So the union was trying to shut down the side with their taxis, and we didn't know what was going on. And we had scooters, so we're just in the middle of them, and they're honking because they're trying to get attention for them. But we thought it was at us. We're like, yeah, hey. Elvis's. Go Uber. All right, we're out of here. That's basically what happened. It was a really fun time. We had a lot of great pictures. In fact, we stopped at one point where someone flagged the first person in our group down. It was a really long train of 10 people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we got flagged down. Maybe someone fell off. What happened? People were getting married, and the photographer asked us to be in their wedding photos. So we have professional wedding photos taken of us that we had shares. It was a pretty epic time. But I've got a pretty skimpy Elvis suit too, so in case anyone wants pictures, we can do that later as well. Yeah. We have another one back here. A millennial question. Yeah.
Your millennial question is, Yanni or Laurel?
I think it's a terrible question. Because if you hear anything but Yanny, you're out of your damn minds, okay? What? Get your ears checked. I've got young millennial ears, okay? I hear everything. I heard the booze in the back earlier, okay? I wasn't complaining. So it happened. All right. One thing I do want to say, kind of before we wrap everything up, kind of to echo what everybody has said before, if there's no more questions. This is a fantastic community of people. You know, there are different shows that impact us in different ways. For instance, I listen to Vice Lounge online all the time, and they made me a better drinker. And I don't like to compliment them that much, but they did, to the point where people ask me, all right, calm down. This is my show, okay? We'll talk later. Where people ask me for my suggestions, right? You can bet on that. For as much as I don't like them, and I don't. Hang on, I'm going to wait till he's all the way out, okay? Because I like Dr. Mike. But anyway, so on a serious note, when I started Vegas Fanboy, anyone who starts a podcast know how hard it can be to really gain traction, right? And so you can bet on that was the first show to say, hey, check this show out. It's a lot of fun. And so for that, I'm forever appreciative. We've got Chris Kim here from Faces and Aces. Is he still here? Where's he at? Yeah, there he is. Honestly, so we've turned Chris Kim's name into a verb, basically, where anytime something happens to you that's nice, it's kind of almost a little bit private in the community, we say you just got Chris Kimmed, right? Because he's honestly one of the nicest guys. He does anything for anyone. Really, really cool. A really great member of the community. Scott's here. Super supportive guy. Doesn't hesitate to share other people's work and really promotes everyone really well. Who else did I say? Oh, the VC guys are here, just fantastic. How awesome are these guys? They're like 8 episodes in. So much energy, a lot of fun. But really what I'll say is that this community, it's not about the podcasters, though. Honestly, we do this show for the listeners, and that's what it is. In fact, some things that some podcasters say, this actually really annoys me. It happens sometimes when they get negative feedback, but they go, I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for me. And I actually kind of hate to hear them say that, because I know it's not true. That it's not us that makes this community, it's the people like you that are sitting out there that make this community, support us, and really make this a really good time. I've been talking to a lot of the content creators and podcasters, and we say, to a T, we just love meeting everybody, people that are excited about what we're doing, people that share kind of this passion here. And so while he's distracted, I'll actually talk about Eric for a little bit. My final compliment goes to Eric. Eric's one of those guys where he's not shy about sharing, how proud of you he is, how much he appreciates the hard work that you do. And Eric has kind of motivated me to make sure that I'm saying that to other people as well more often. And I think it's probably the highest compliment I can give is when someone tries or does make me a better person or a more thoughtful person. So Eric, thank you so much. Thanks for including us in this event. Thank you to the ZorkFest team, the TravelZork team, and thank to all of you guys for coming out. It honestly does, and we can't say it enough, to know that, and even for the people that are on the travel side, to know that you're coming out sometimes just to see us or talk to us or engage in this community. It's a really meaningful, impactful thing, and it motivates us to keep going and putting out more content. So thanks for coming. We really, really appreciate it. So let's go out and gamble, have a good time, enjoy the rest of the weekend, huh? Thanks, guys.
That's going to conclude the live podcast portion of the evening. I want to thank you all for coming out. We have a bit of a wager that we need to figure out, and I need some assistance. So it may have been a maybe a little unfair to just assume that Mark and Dr. Mike would just take this walking away. That was a hell of a good job, Adam. That was good. All right, so audience participation for a Zorky, which doesn't really exist, but I'm making it up right now. By applause, let's hear it for You Can Bet on That. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's hear it for Travel Fanboy. Wow. Wow. Well, I got the loudest applause, so the winner is Scott ROEBEN. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. I'll come up with what a Zorky is. We'll get it out to you. So that'll conclude the podcast portion of this evening. We're going to keep going for another hour. Our DJ Mo Cassaggio is going to play a set, and the bar will be open for another hour. Thank you all for coming out. Don't move.